Hi, here's a video about the replacement of the traction battery of this car. It currently has the original 22,000 kWh battery. We will go for the 41, so that's the bigger one. So first, to know, before you start working on the car, you need to disconnect two things. One of them is the 12-volt battery. So the 12-volt battery is located over here, so I will remove this one. The second thing we need to do, on the right side of the car, so that's the passenger side in Europe, but in the UK it's the driver's side, there's a panel here in the bottom. If you take that out, there are a few notches that you can change here. Once you open this, there's the circuit breaker. This circuit breaker will disconnect the 360 volt traction battery from the car, so that it's safe that you can remove it. So important to take the 12 volt off and then pull this lever and take the circuit breaker for the 360 volt battery out. Alright, so for this you need a 10mm socket wrench. You can then just disconnect it. Make sure this terminal is off the battery. And once you've accomplished that, you did. Right, let's go to the main one. So, over here, you can take this tab over here and then pull the green lever. Once you've done that, we are powerless. There we are.
This is a new battery for the ZOE that will replace the old one. This battery is quite heavy, so if you're gonna replace the battery, you'll probably need some help with lifting this thing. And we used pallets to help lift it, and we also got help from the delivery driver who also helped lift it.
So I just lifted up the car, and on the rocker panel sills on the side you see slots, so I suspect that's the area where you should lift it. One of them is over here, you can see it from the other side. But here in the back there's also a slot in the sills, the rocker panel. Did the same on the other side. So what we now need to do is here up front we'll have a panel, and behind that there will be three cables. One is the ground wire, which should be over here. Then over here there is the high voltage cable, which is I think 360 volt. That is connected to the battery pack over here, because this is the battery pack. And there's a signal cable going to the battery control module, which is in the battery on top over here. So these three connectors need to be disconnected once I have removed this panel. And I think there are two bolts, I suspect 10mm, to get the panel off. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So it wasn't actually two bolts, there were two more, here and here. They're also 10mm. And also to remove the plastic cladding from it, you need to disconnect these. And then you can now see the cables. So this is the high voltage one, 360 volts I think. This is the connection between the battery control module and the computer of the car. And over here is the ground cable, this one. So I actually made a mistake. So if you want to remove the battery pack, it's connected with four big bolts over here. So you need to remove this plastic cladding, because the battery pack is on top of it. And since I've put this here, I can't remove it. So now I'll lower the car, remove this plastic cladding, and afterwards we will be able to put something under this to make it stable, and then remove the battery pack with those 4 bolts. And also I have to make sure that there's enough room over here so that it doesn't conflict here with the battery pack removal. So I'll move these two like a centimeter more to the back. We have a little bit more space here, and remove this plastic cladding over here. So my son arrived. He's going to help with removing the battery pack of 275 kilograms, and Tessa, my daughter, is filming. So I removed the cladding. That's all connected with 10mm bolts to the bottom, and of course those 2 plastic thingies you already removed. If you want to remove those 2 cables, there is a blue tab that you have to pull to the back, and after that you can push this one inwards and then just pull the black sleeve to the back. Once you do that, there's a certain rotation device or whatever that disconnects it over here. And for the signal cable, which goes to the BCM, it's just like pushing this tab up, and then you can remove it. Don't pull the cables, pull the connector. And I'll take it to the back now. Make sure that we don't break it once we start doing the heavy lifting. So it's all tucked to the back. Also I checked the bottom here. There are actually 2 bolts in each hole here to remove the battery pack. I removed the posts a bit to the back so that we have more space here. And I think we're good also here. There's enough room. So now what we need to do is make sure there's a stable platform on the underside of the battery pack. Once we have achieved that, we can start disconnecting the bolts. Yeah. So the bolts under it are 16mm over here and there, and we have got a platform for it that should get the battery. Once the battery is disconnected with the bolts, we will lift the car and then can move the battery away. That's the idea. So we just disconnected those 8 16mm bolts. Hopefully we have disconnected the battery now. So let's see what happens. Will it stay? I guess it does. There we are. I see nothing connected. So it's indeed those bolts. And there's the old battery pack going up.
Yeah, and we put it on an old table that we bought online, and a pallet.
Yeah, and the table is adjustable, so
yeah,
that's handy.
Yeah. So we took the old one out and moved it with this one because it has wheels. Now we're putting in the new one with like putting that one down on top of it and lining it up. That's what we'll be doing now. We cleaned this one with old shirts and rags and stuff, and covered this so nothing gets in there. It is starting to rain, so that's not that good. But this one is ready to be sold, and now we're busy putting that one in. Basically what we did, we lined it up by putting it on a bunch of pallets and having something under there so we could wheel it over. And we basically put it under the car and tried to line it up as best we could. And then afterwards we lowered the car, and then we're now lining up so that it fits perfectly. And you do have to look out that you don't doesn't go wrong and you destroy something or something. Yeah.
So the last 2 bolts of the battery pack. Here we go. I'll shine it with the battery. Those are in here. All right. That's the last one. Awesome. Now we can lift the car. So I just connected the 360 volt loom. It's just like push this collar up and then move the blue tab in front to lock it. Also click this one on, and the ground cable also just got connected. So all the connections are now okay. The next thing to do is to put the plastic cladding in there, and then I think we should be good to go to the circuit breakers back on, and then see what happens. So I'm now putting the plastic cladding back on. Those are all 10s, and the ones here are different. They have like an imbus inside in the bolt. All the other bolts are the same. And next is putting back that aluminium cover skid plate over here, also with 10mm bolts, and then those two plastic thingies. So those are the next steps. So this is the moment we're gonna put the circuit breaker back on. So I hope it's good. Let's see. Do it the right way, not the way around. Pull the lever, that's good. Plate back on. Floor panel. Pull that back on. Good. Now we'll go for the 12-volt comfort battery over here. It said hello. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Hi, hi. And I'm curious what happens with the range. And there might be no juice left in this battery actually.
That is possible.
It came from the breaker, so I'm not sure when that car had the accident how much juice was still in the battery, right?
Yeah.
So let's close the bonnet.
We'll see. Now we're turning the car on to see if it works. Well, seems to work.
So the battery got recognized instantly, and it seems to be like half full and already has a range of 149. So that's good news actually, because when we came here we had like 110 left. I heard that you can actually reset it, so after its first full charge I should press both the gas pedal and the brake, and then the bottom button, and open the door, because that resets the range. That's what you all told me. So the next thing is we will move home, charge it, and then see what will happen if we do that. Okay.
So we decided to see if we could charge it, and it looks like it's working. We have a better charging station at home and stuff, but as you can see in the car,
this is
says
a
it's
single-phase charger, and at home we have three-phase chargers. So we're now testing the single-phase phase charger that we never use actually.
yeah.
See if it works.